guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're an old viewer, Ep.1, thank you for stopping by again. And thank you for supporting me. I really appreciate it. Let's get right into the video for today. So a lot of people always ask me, right? They're like, Vanessa, is mental health more important than your physical health? And I can't tell you how many times I've gotten that question. And recently I've started to see it almost like a resemblance of how we have our bodies and how we have our spirits. These are two different things, but they work interchangeably. One cannot exist without the work or the function of the other. And that's kind of how I see mental health, this whole mental health and physical health like debate. So I feel like just as much as your physical health is important, your mental health is just as important. As you may know or not, the month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And just given my background and my passion for mental health, of course, I needed to have a say. Of course, I needed to do series. Of course, I needed to have my voice heard. So I know we all talk about physical health. Like, I got a headache. Oh, I don't want to get scars on my body. Oh, I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't like my face. My skin is this, blah, blah, blah. We all say all that kind of stuff. However, your mental health is important. It does matter. I'm here to tell you that there's people of all ages and genders and races and ethnicities. They all may struggle with their mental health. It's like expression of mental health it varies from person to person. So if you find that you're someone who struggles with like identifying someone who might be going through like a rough patch mentally, it's really of no fault of yours, because the truth is that it's not visible. It's not visible to the naked eye. You might not just at first glance realize that this person might be depressed or this person is suffering with anxiety. However, there are some signs that you can look out for when trying to determine if someone is struggling with their mental health. And the first one that I would say is one that I feel like it cuts across every type of mental illness, and it's isolation. So a lot of people who struggle with mental health issues, especially when it's depression or anxiety, whatever type of anxiety it is, they tend to isolate themselves. That is one sign that you can look out for to see if someone might be struggling with their mental health. A second sign that you can look out for is a loss, like a sudden, it might seem sudden, but most of the times it's more gradual, but a loss of interest in activities that they would usually have been enjoying. If they really like to go out and party, or if they really liked to paint, or if they really liked playing basketball or any kind of sport, and suddenly they lose interest and don't seem as passionate about those things anymore. That's another sign that they might be struggling with their mental health. And a third sign that they might be struggling is and I feel like I've read this and seen this in like documentaries and stuff, but then people who might be suffering from like suicidal thoughts, they might end up like sharing all of their like possessions, that all their belongings, are just going to start giving it out, I guess in preparation of what they intend to do. Even with the prized possessions as well, like things that you would say like, nah, this guy would never have let this go, or this girl would never let this go. They start giving away those things. So that is another sign that you can look out for. Another one is, even sometimes it can be very obvious. Like someone could be seemingly joking around death. You could be having a very neutral conversation, and they just start trying to have this conversation about death and all the creative ways that they can die, and so that is definitely something to look out for. So I have to say this, right? Historically, I feel like a lot of families and households, they've raised their children to kind of go on with this culture of, whatever issues are happening at home, you have to make sure that it stays at home. While that, to an extent is not a bad like way of life or upbringing, it has reflected in present day a lot of people like struggling to seek help for their mental health. They feel like instead it's better to like, hold it in and just not share. And of course, it would be impossible to speak about mental health without actually talking about stigma, right? And what is stigma? Stigma is essentially it's a mark of disgrace associated with like a particular person or particular circumstance. And a lot of people who struggle with mental illness, there's a lot of stigma around mental illness, and I feel like it's part of the reason why people wouldn't be as vocal with their struggles. I feel like you and I as a community, we need to try our very best to break this stigma and instead like project and promote an aura of openness and kindness and inclusivity, because the truth is a lot of people are fighting battles that, you know, we just don't know about. So it wouldn't hurt to just be a little kinder. It's a lot to take in, of course, but then I feel like basically just trying to make the environment comfortable enough so that someone who might be struggling is able to share stuff with you. And that doesn't mean that you have to have all the answers, right? Some people, they really just need like a listening ear. They need to feel heard. They need to feel loved. They need to feel, you know, like they matter. So another thing that I've noticed when we talk about mental health is like a lot of the times we're saying things like it's very self-centered. So it's like, oh, my self-care, you know, my self-wellness, well-being, self, you know, everything is all around the self, when in fact I feel as if mental health is more so it's not an individualistic concept. It's more so like the deep connection that you're able to have with others. So it's like a relationship thing. I truly feel like it speaks to the depth of connection that we have with people around us. You know, a connection that can create a sense of purpose, a sense of meaning. Like, it's not really just about the I, self. No, it really is more, you know, interrelational, because the truth is that all these things and, you know, having a sense of identity, they create a kind of happiness that no other experience can provide. So mental health is tied to relational health. It is a collective experience. It is not an individual pursuit. And in a time where, you know, social media, it promotes this individual success and self-focused wellness, let us not overlook the importance of relationships in our mental health journey. While self-care is important, true well-being comes from the relationships that we nurture and the community that we build. These connections, they provide us with purpose and meaning and a sense of belonging that like no amount of likes or followers will ever be able to provide. So let us prioritize genuine relationships, genuine interactions with each other, support each other, recognize that, you know, mental health is really is deeply intertwined with the quality of our relationships, the quality of the connections that we're able to make in our communities. Because at the end of the day, if I'm doing well and you're doing well, then I'm able to benefit from you just as much as you're able to benefit from me, and everybody's happy. I truly believe that together we can, you know, enrich our lives in a way that, you know, is beyond whatever we are able to do by ourselves. So that would be everything for today, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned, because I will be doing a series. Like I said, I will be releasing a bunch of videos just, you know, every other day. And yeah, I really hope that you enjoy and you learn something. So if you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know if you know of anyone or you yourself are struggling with your mental health and what you did to kind of get out of that funk. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye. Mwah.